Is it at all possible that such endless beauty and flawless perfection does not want an eternal land to see and show His beauty and perfection, and eternal spectators that will see the beauty and perfection that will be manifest in that realm? Since this world is unable to show that beauty and perfection fully, and the spectators of this realm leave without watching that beauty and perfection fully, there must be an eternal realm and eternal spectators of that realm, so that the eternal beauty and perfection will be seen there fully, and the spectators will watch that beauty and perfection fully. We will deal with this proof under two headings. Jamal means beauty, and Kamal means beautiful attributes. God Almighty has beauty. He is beautiful. That is, He has endless beauty. He owns perfection. That is, He owns attributes of perfection like knowledge, power, will, hearing, and sight. He has endless names and attributes. A person who looks at this realm carefully will see that there exists endless beauty and perfection in this realm. Do you want proof of it? Then look at the seas, mountains, trees, flowers, birds, and fish. Examine all of them one by one. Can you find anything other than beauty and perfection? Who is the owner of this beauty and perfection? It is definitely God Almighty. Because beauty comes from a beautiful being, and perfection comes from a perfect being. Grant comes from generosity, and wealth comes from a wealthy being. With all of its beauty, this realm indicates the beauty of God Almighty, and with all of its flawlessness, His eternal perfection. Now, look at this realm, which is the exhibition of the divine works of art. They altogether show, declare, and attract attention to the flawless perfection and endless beauty of God Almighty, with the exhibition of wonderful works of art. All of those, beautiful, artistic, bright, and ornamented creatures that are on the face of the earth, show the beauty of a matchless spiritual beauty, indicate the subtleties of a matchless secret perfection, just like the light indicates the sun. They also show that they are top secret treasures in each one of the names of that exclusive smartness and holy beauty. In short, This realm, with all of its beauty, indicates the beauty of God Almighty, and with all of its perfection, indicates His perfection, and it proves the unmatched and eternal beauty and perfection of that being. It means the artist of this realm has a very important and amazing perfection. He wants to show that perfection through those wonderful arts. He also has unmatched beauty. He wants to make people watch His unmatched beauty through His ornamented and embroidered creatures. Doubtlessly, such eternal beauty and perfection want to be observed by appreciative, praising, and admiring people, because it is a general rule that every owner of beauty and perfection wants to see and show his own beauty and perfection. If the perfection is permanent, he wants to be manifest and be observed permanently. Permanent manifestation wants the permanence of the existence of the appreciative and admiring people. The value of beauty and perfection decreases in the eyes of an appreciative person who is not eternal and who is bound to die. It is a very well-known story that a very beautiful girl repulses an ordinary man who falls in love with her. In order to console himself, the man says, "She is an ugly girl," denying her beauty. Just like in this example, if the hereafter does not occur, and if death becomes an end for man, the beauty and perfection of God Almighty that are visible in this realm will be reduced to nothing and lose their value and beauty. Let us explain the issue by stating the reason of the creation of this world as follows. As the owner of every beauty and perfection wants to see and show His beauty and perfection, God, who is the owner of endless beauty and perfection, wanted to see and show His beauty and perfection. So He created this realm. He decorated every creature with embroideries. He showed all kinds of manifestations of His beauty and perfection in this realm. He gave man the duty and honor of watching them. This is the duty of the creation of man, to watch that beauty and perfection. However, if the hereafter does not occur, and if the death becomes an end for man, he will despise this world and deny the beauty and perfection before our eyes. Only by doing so can he put up with the pain and anguish caused by the separation from this world. However, it is contrary to the purpose of the creation of man. Man, who has been created in the nature of a loving spectator, will transform into an enemy if the hereafter does not occur. He will go down to the rank of despising from the rank of observing in order to alleviate the pain of separation. Doubtlessly, the wise artist of this world will not allow it, and will not make him deny his beauty and perfection. The only way to do it is to bring the hereafter. Another reason why endless beauty and perfection necessitate the hereafter is this. As the owner of every beauty and perfection wants to see and show his beauty and perfection, God, who is the owner of endless beauty and perfection, will definitely want to see and show his beauty and perfection. If beauty and perfection are ephemeral, he will consent to ephemeral manifestations. However, if beauty and perfection are eternal, then he will not consent to ephemeral manifestations and want to seem and be manifest eternal. Two things are necessary for him to seem eternal. 1. The country in which his beauty and perfection will seem must be eternal. However, this universe is not eternal, but temporary. As scientists unanimously agree, one day the doomsday will strike and the world will be eliminated. 2. He will want a permanent country and permanent spectators. If there are no spectators, the manifestation of the beauty and perfection will be meaningless. However, the spectators in this world are ephemeral too. In this short life, they cannot observe that beauty and perfection fully, and they leave the world without being satisfied fully. Therefore, the spectators have to be permanent, and it necessitates the hereafter. Now let us see what we have learned about this proof in items. Thus, it will be understood better. 1. We see with our eyes that there is endless beauty and perfection in this realm. 2. Since beauty comes from a beautiful person, and perfection comes from a perfect person, the beauty and perfection before our eyes indicate an eternal beauty and perfection behind the curtain and prove his existence. 3. Since that being, who has beauty and perfection, created this realm to have his beauty and perfection observed, he must have created the hereafter for man. Man can carry out the duty of observing only through belief in the hereafter. An observer who does not believe in the hereafter will deny the beauty and perfection before our eyes, in order to alleviate the pain of separation from this world, just like the cat that called the meat that it could not reach dirty. It is contrary to the purpose of creation. Doubtlessly, God Almighty will not let such absurdity. The only way to do it is to bring the hereafter. 4. The owner of every beauty and perfection wants to show his own beauty and perfection. If the beauty and perfection are eternal, they will want to seem eternal. Since the beauty and perfection of God Almighty are eternal and permanent, He will want to see them eternal. An eternal and permanent land is necessary in order to be seen eternal. And that land is the hereafter. 5. An eternal beauty and perfection will want the continuation, that is, the permanence, of the existence of the spectators. An eternal beauty does not consent to ephemeral spectators. The necessity of eternal spectators necessitates the hereafter. 6. The owner of every beauty and perfection wants to show his own beauty and perfection, and he himself wants to see it. That is why a scholar reads his own book, an artist observes his own work of art. Then God Almighty will want to see His own beauty and perfection. Since His beauty and perfection are eternal, He will certainly want to see them as eternal. Therefore, an eternal country is necessary, and that country can only be the hereafter. In short, all of the beings with all of their beauty and perfection indicate the beauty and perfection of God Almighty behind the curtain. Similarly, they also indicate the existence of the hereafter. As the owner of beauty and perfection wants to see and to be seen, to see and to be seen want the existence of enthusiastic spectators with loving admirers. Since beauty and perfection are eternal and permanent, He wants the continuation of the existence of those spectators, because an eternal beauty and perfection will not consent to an ephemeral lover.